Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this meeting of the Regulation Hearing Committee. Our chair, Claire McKay, is unwell today. I see she's online, so I will be chairing the meeting today. Do I have someone who would be prepared to do a Karakia? Craig, thank you very much.
Ata Māori e koutou, nei te mihi kia koutou I tēnei ata, ka hara mai ki tō tātou nei hui. I tuatahi, ka huri nau taku whakaaro ki ngā tini aitoa, ka uhi atu ki te pō, ai nā mate, haere atura, moi mai rā, rātou kia rātou, tātou kia tātou. Te karakia timatanga o tātou nei hui, ka haia te ata, ka hāpara te ata, ka koro ki te manu, ka wariri te kutu, ko te ata nui, ka haraina, ka taki te umeri, he pō, he ao, ka watea, ati hei, mauri ora, kia ora.
Thank you. Apologies, we have an apology from Councillor Swiggs, and I see Councillor McKay is online. Conflicts of interest. Any conflicts of interest from any members today? Thank you. We have received no requests.
Yes.
Sorry?
Online.
Oh,
Me.
Oh, sorry, Claire. Missed you there. You have a conflict.
Sorry. Yes, I do. I will declare a conflict of interest with 8.4. I'm a shareholder of Waimakariri Irrigation Limited, that company that's an applicant there. I will also stand back from 8.5 so that there is no likelihood of any conflict or perception of bias, as that property is quite close to us.
Thank you, Councillor McKay. Public forums. We have had no requests for public forum, deputation or petitions today. Extraordinary and urgent business, likewise. And item 6, notices of motion, same again. We'll move to item 7, the unconfirmed minutes of our meeting of the 19th of February. Does anyone have any matters of accuracy surrounding these minutes? If not, can I have a mover and a seconder to confirm those minutes? Move Councillor Robinson, Councillor Davies. Correct. Yeah, no, you're right. You weren't here for all of the meeting. So Joe, you prepared to move the minutes? Can I have a seconder, please? Chair Pauling. All those in favour? Any against? Motion's carried. We'll move now to item 8, report items for decision. The first one is NZSki Limited, and Aurora, could you just introduce this paper for us, please?
Great. So good morning, everyone. The decision before the committee is to appoint Graham Taylor for this application. Now, the applicant requested that this application was publicly notified, so it's a simple decision before the committee to appoint the decision maker for this application.
Thank you. Any questions of the appointment of Graham Taylor? Councillor Edge.
Just a question for clarification on the item 2 there on page 17, the background information. It talks about the consent to dam 25,000 cubic metres of water in an existing dam. Just wanted to clarify, is the capacity of the current dam, does it need to be modified in any way to achieve that 25, or is it just purely a consent for...
Councillor Edge, I'd remind you that we are here today to to consider the appointment of a person to adjudicate on this matter. The points that you are raising are outside of our jurisdiction and irrelevant to what we are discussing today.
I beg to differ, Chair. I'm just seeking some clarification of information. I know that we will eventually come to the regulations, but some background information has been provided to us, and it's a fairly simple question.
I'll reiterate again, Councillor Edge. You seem to do this at every meeting. We are here to adjudicate on the appointment of a hearings commissioner. You are raising matters that are outside our jurisdiction. So I made that ruling. We'll move on. Councillor Robinson.
This is not just a rubber stamp exercise. Otherwise, we're receiving information that's not necessary. I understand where Councillor Edge is coming from. It's a pretty straightforward question.
This matter has been raised on numerous occasions. We are limited to the questioning the appointment or the suitability of a candidate to hear a particular matter. Section 95 covers all of these sort of matters that you are raising in a report that will ultimately be heard by the Commissioner. We are here today to appoint Graham Taylor to hear this application. Our questioning should be around whether Mr. Taylor is suitable to hear this matter, and we have no jurisdiction apart from that. Does anyone have any questions around the recommendation of the appointment of Graham Taylor to hear this particular application? Councillor...
I'm happy to move it.
Been moved by Chair Pauling. Do I have it seconded by Councillor Davies? Is there any further discussion on the matter? If not, I'll put the recommendation. All in favour?
Aye.
Hang on, you wanted to discuss the matter, Councillor Edge. Thank you. And can I just, before that, sorry, just acknowledge that Councillor Swiggs is online.
Just in terms of my right to comment on this, no comment. I don't have any issues with the hearing commissioner, but I did wish to seek clarification on the background information that was provided for clarification, and I was wondering if that was possible for that to happen.
Perhaps could I ask legal counsel for some direction on the way I've ruled this?
This application is online, so all of the details have been lodged on our website. In terms of the specifics around the question, I don't have the information to hand around that, if that's helpful.
Staff have prepared for today's meeting in accordance with what's contained in the paper to seek the recommendation to appoint that particular hearing commissioner. They are not here to delve into the contents of the resource consent application or the various reports that will follow. When you get the papers, as Aurora has confirmed, the details of the application are available online, and we could send links. Would that be helpful for the committee, perhaps, when you receive the agenda, so that you could click through and have a look prior to the meetings?
No, I suppose it's, I have in the past, for me, it would be quicker to have a link there that I could quickly go to, but otherwise we'd go through to the consent number. Yeah, I suppose it's, I think some of these issues that I'm talking about can be discussed at tomorrow's session about the terms of reference for this committee, which seem to be extremely restrictive. And I think in terms of being able to have some seek clarification on some of these things, I really don't see that that's not disturbing or interfering with the actual application itself. Anyway, thanks very much.
Councillor Mackay.
Sorry, I was just going to comment. I think it's, as councillors, we need to be very careful having pre-reviews of the applications and everything of that, particularly if we want to come to these decisions free of bias and predetermination. So I'm just quite cautionary about that. I do note that some information is available online, and I think that's accessible to anybody. So I'm quite happy with where it currently is. If people wish to go find whatever they can find, well, that's great. But just a bit wary of putting links in here where fellow committee members can certainly be extending their workload quite considerably and doing a lot of background reading, which could bias their thinking. So just a comment there from me.
Thank you, Councillor Mackay. I just reiterate, I think that we need to stick to what we are delegated to do, and I would probably recommend, and this probably came from Councillor Mackay last week, that should members have some concern around other aspects of an application, they need to probably address these with staff before the meeting, or at least signal well before the meeting that there is a particular issue. We are, as I've said on numerous occasions, we are here with a function to appoint people to hear various applications that are brought before us. So we have a mover and a second. Oh, sorry, Craig.
Yeah, I'm reasonably comfortable. I note that it was publicly notified and there was only one submitter. So, the public's had a chance to do their thing on it. So, yeah, reasonably comfortable to appoint Graham. So, yep, just reiterating it.
Thank you. Any other debate before we put the motion? If not, all those in favour say aye. Against?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Item 2 is the appointment of Hearing Commissioner for Tegel Foods Limited. Again, the recommendation is to appoint Graham Taylor as Hearing Commissioner. Any questions around this appointment?
Happy to move.
Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Joe.
I'll second that.
Seconded Councillor Davies. All in favour? Sorry, any discussion? I'll put the motion. All in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. Item 8.3, appointment of Hearing Commissioner, Port Blakely Limited. The recommendation here is that we appoint Andrew Henderson as a Hearing Commissioner. Does anyone have any questions around the appointment of Andrew Henderson? Councillor Ridge.
I don't have any queries about the appointment of the Commissioner. However, I have just a question of clarification. The bottom line, number 8, I just wanted to clarify that the matters related to the conclusion of the forestry appeal for PC7 that this particular application is being heard under the PC7, which we are talking about later on this morning?
I'm not across your conversations later this morning, but this application will be measured against the current rule framework. So there is other matters that are taken into account with any processing of resource consents, and that would I would expect some discussion and weighing up from the decision maker on those points.
Thank you. Any other questions regarding the appointment of Andrew Henderson to this hearing? Do I have a mover? Moved.
I'll move.
Chair Pauling, seconder.
I'll second that.
Councillor Davies. Oh, sorry. Claire, you have some comment?
No, I was going to second it, but you've got a mover and a seconder, so fine.
Right, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the appointment of Andrew Henderson to hear this application? If not, I'll put the motion. All in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Noted Councillor Robinson against the appointment of Andrew Henderson. Item 8.5. The hearing Commissioner Sutton, application of, I skipped one, sorry. A hearing a commissioner is required for an application by Waimakariri Irrigation Limited. The recommendation is to appoint Andrew Henderson as a hearing commissioner for this application. Do I have any points of clarification around the appointment of Andrew Henderson? There are none.
Just clarification on this one. I have been involved with Waimakariri Irrigation Limited many years ago. Is this? I see the nature of the application and its purpose. Is this an extension of an existing consent that they have to do that? Because I recall over 10 years ago that I thought that was the same process that they were looking at.
I don't have that information to hand, sorry.
Any other matters to consider? If not, can I have a mover to appoint Andrew Henderson to hear the application by Waimakariri Irrigation? I'll move from the chair. Seconder. Chair Pauling. Any further discussion? If not, I'll put the motion. All in favour?
Aye.
Against? Councillor Robinson. Carried. Right, item 8.5, the appointment of a hearing commissioner, an application by G.J. Sutton. Again, the recommendation is to appoint Andrew Henderson to hear this application. Do I have any points of clarification around the appointment of Andrew Henderson? There being none, I'll ask for a mover and a seconder. Moved, Sorry, is this you moving or are you coming back for?
Seeking clarification, Chair. I note the nature in terms of the description in the background, item 3, some bores being located in a wetland property. I'm just wondering, is the consent for take and use?
Yes, take and use. That's in paragraph 2.
Paragraph 2 clearly outlines that. Councillor Robinson.
Just with regards to it being such a sensitive environment, why have we landed on just one hearings commissioner other than, just doesn't make sense to me.
There's only one submitter, so normal process would be that we'd have one commissioner to hear and decide the application.
Any further questions? Councillor Edge.
Is that due to limited notification process rather than public notification?
Yes, and if there was only one submitter in a public notified process as well, we would come back with recommending one commissioner.
I would point out again that that's a matter that's outside of our jurisdiction.
Oh, sorry, I tend to disagree on that, Chair. Considering that it was limited notification and it's high sensitive area, I think we need more oversight of this prior to this point.
Thank you. The Section 95 notification report covers all of these sort of matters. Any further questions around the appointment of Andrew Henderson to this hearing? If not, I'll call for a mover and a seconder. Moved Chair Pauling, seconded Councillor Davies. Any further discussion? If not, I'll put the motion. All in favour?
Against.
Noted the abstention of Councillor Edge and against from Councillor Robinson. And the motion's carried. Item 8.6, the appointment of a hearing commissioner to hear an application from D.R. McIntyre. The recommendation is that we appoint Jane MacDonald as the hearing commissioner chairperson and also appoint Nathan Capper as a hearing commissioner to hear this particular application. Any questions around the recommendation for the appointment of these two people to hear the application? Just one question, I think, for me is 1.4, a casting vote. Is that a normal procedure, or should we be considering 3 people on a panel so there is no need for a casting vote?
That's a great point. So this is somewhat unusual in that we're recommending 2 people rather than 3. It's just the background to that. And it is an acceptable practice to put 2 panel members on with a casting vote. However, we normally try and bring 3 to spread the decision making across a panel. In this case, and in the case of all of these going through, the availability of commissioners is very tight. So we are having capacity issues in terms of available commissioners. Hence why, in this case, we did approach a third person, numerous third people, and in this case, within the timeframes, we we are not able to get a third commissioner, hence why we've gone with our least preferred approach of 2 people on the panel and a casting and a deciding vote with the chair. That is absolutely acceptable practice to do, but not something that this committee has seen often from us.
Thank you. Any further questions regarding the appointment of Jane McDonald and Nathan Kappa to hear this application? There being none, I will call for a mover and a seconder for this recommendation.
Happy to move.
Moved, Councillor Mackay. A seconder. Chair Pauling. Any further discussion on the motion? Put the motion. All those in, sorry.
Thanks, Chair. Yes, look, I just note on page 33 that notification, item 6. I'm really pleased that this application has been publicly notified, and with the consideration that those environmental effects were likely to be, or perhaps are likely to be, more than minor. 11 submissions received in opposition, 5 submitters wish to be heard, and point 8 in particular, all submitters main concerns are to do with surface and groundwater quality degradation, farm located in a sensitive lake nutrient allocation zone, the impacts on water quality downstream, and no justification for efficiency of water use. So those sort of concerns have come out through that public notification process, and I welcome that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Reg. Any further comment around the motion? If not, I'll put the motion that as written. All those in favour?
Aye.
Any against? Declare the motion carried. Right, the next item is item 9, resolution status report has been tabled. We have a recommendation to note the status of previous resolutions provided in the Regulation Hearing Committee resolution status for the 26th of February. Any discussion on this report? Move Councillor Reg. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Robinson. Any further discussion on the motion? If not, I'll put the recommendation forward. All those in favour? Sorry.
Aye.
All those in favour?
Aye.
Carried. Item 9.2, resource consent hearing status report. The recommendation is that the committee notes the status of resource consent application hearings provided in the consent report as of the 26th of February. So we have that status report before us. Do I have any comments or questions on that? No comments. I moved Councillor Edge. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Robinson. All in favour?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Item 10, the next meeting will be publicly advised to both the public and ourselves. Item 11 will leave the Mihi Whakatau open for meetings later in the day. So that being the end of business, I'll declare the meeting closed at 8:31.
Can I just make a comment, please?
Sorry, Claire, I missed you again.
Yeah, look, it's timely that Aurora's sitting there in the picture at the moment. I'm just not sure, Aurora. I know that you're leaving, and I just want to take this opportunity on behalf of the RHC Council and hopefully the rest of the council table to thank you very much for your work over the last, 4 and a bit years, I think. And you're leaving quite soon, and I'm not sure whether we're going to have another meeting beforehand. It looks like you might have wanted to say something too. But look, I really have appreciated working with you over that time. I know it hasn't been easy to getting the sustainable consents delivery program in place and tidying up all our legacy issues, and really appreciate that you've been able to do that. You look like a weight's been lifted off your shoulders, actually, quite frankly. so I wish you all the best for your new job, and hope you enjoy it. And I just really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart anyway, and on behalf. So you might get the opportunity to take the floor now.
Oh, thanks so much, Claire. I think we'll be back next week, which will be my last one. But I did want to say thank you for all of the support over the years for both this committee, but also the wider council for sorting out consents. And yes, I am off on the 14th of March. Sad, but also amazing new opportunity for me. So yes, thank you. And we'll see you back with maybe just one item next week, I think.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Mackay, and I'd like to just endorse those comments. Been refreshing working with you, Aurora. So on that note, I'm actually advised that there is a meeting next week, so it will be documentation and relevant papers, no doubt, will be out very shortly. And so next week's our next engagement. So on that note, I'll draw the meeting to a close, and thank you all.